Hello everybody, as always this is Blitz, here bringing you the next episode in my series, the Radeon HD 5850 in 2015, where we observe the performance and capabilities of the old, but still adept graphics card in current generation games. This is Battlefield 4, which released in the fall of 2013 for the PC, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and of course a launch title for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Now, while this is a 2-year-old game, it makes use of the excellent Frostbite 3 engine, providing excellent graphical fidelity, advanced physics, animation, and of course lots of environmental destruction. It's a very good title for testing overall PC system capabilities, and it has a comprehensive set of graphics options that will accommodate older video cards, yes, even older than the Radeon 5850, while still looking great with newer GPUs that can push the max settings at high resolution. So let's evaluate the Radeon 5850 with Battlefield 4. This is going to be straight gameplay, no benchmark, and no focus on recreating scenes with different settings. As in previous episodes, the 3 tenets of good performance are 1080p resolution, 30 FPS gameplay, and the game can't look like ass, which tends to bar low settings and a complete lack of AA. Even at 1080p, we need some form of anti-aliasing, be it MSAA or FXAA. Jumping into only our second firefight, this is all medium settings with no MSAA, but with medium FXAA applied. Field of view is set at default, which is 85 degrees. On top of that, we are running horizon-based ambient occlusion, not SSAO. Luckily, we can see that we're getting well over 40 frames a second almost all the time, sometimes getting really close to 50, and we're not getting anywhere near our 1GB video memory limit. However, it must be said, this is only a fairly closed-in area of the game. It is not like any other parts of the game where we are in a much broader, much more open area with a lot more destruction and physics, and sometimes even much more AI. I'll also let you know this is my first time playing the single-player campaign in BF4, so if it seems I'm playing sort of noobish, you know why. It's because I've never played any of these scenes before at all, so I really don't know what to expect. After the Radeon 5850's good showing earlier, I felt I could push it further while staying above 30 FPS. Now we are running all high settings, still with no MSAA. The more open play area we are descending into here is more akin to what we should expect at a Battlefield 4. Now, despite what should be a higher graphical load, we are still running more than 30 FPS, and sometimes we are well above it. This is pretty nice for a game running at 1080p on a 6-year-old video card. Now on console, both PS4 and Xbox One, this game only runs at 1600 by 900p. On PS3 and Xbox 360, it's only 720p, I think. But versus the newer consoles, this is pretty impressive performance. But the PS4 and Xbox One versions are made to run at about 60 FPS nominally. As we can see here, we're barely posting above 30. Also, we must consider the fact that the PS4 and Xbox One are probably running some things with higher graphical fidelity than what we're seeing right here, especially something like textures. However, in other ways, like shadowing and maybe even texture filtering, we're probably doing a little bit better than what we see on those consoles. The graphics array that's in the PS4 really is more powerful in real-world performance than the Radeon 5850, and there's no reason why it wouldn't put up better numbers than the Radeon 5850 if we were to run the PS4 version at 1080p with the same graphic settings and visual fidelity. There would be no way the PS4 version could maintain 60 FPS, nor the Xbox One version, of course, which is even weaker than the PS4 graphically.
Ready to engage.
In position.
Okay, standing by for targets.
Cross the yard and through that drain pipe.
Ready for targets. Okay, give us your targets. engage. Standing by for targets. We're reloading. Hold on.
This is just one part of the game, and later on we'll see more complex scenes that force us to make graphical sacrifices for smooth gameplay. But before we do that, let's see what happens when we go for ultra settings. We have the obvious and predictable drop in frame rate, but at times we still get respectable numbers. However, I'm also inspecting image quality in reference to the image aliasing. I disabled even post-processed AA just to see what the image would look like without any anti-aliasing at all. As one should expect, the image becomes very grainy, very aliased, so it's sort of difficult to play this without any anti-aliasing. So I tried turning off post-processed, FXAA, and enabling 2x multi-sample anti-aliasing.
Okay, standing by for targets.
It's painfully obvious that this game is just too much for the Radeon HD 5850 when we're running ultra settings at 1080p. But we shouldn't be too disappointed when the game already looks quite good at the medium and high presets. After that excursion, I backed the settings down to all high presets with low image processing. For this part of the game, it's really the best we can do without running into huge amounts of frame rate slowdown.
Tombstone actual. Gotta pull away to stay clear of their RPGs. Stick to the plan.
We've jumped to the second mission in Battlefield 4's campaign, which takes us to Shanghai, China to rescue a VIP. The in-game settings have been backed down to medium due to the heavy graphical load imposed on us. While high settings are possible, medium just gives us a better balance of graphical fidelity and fluidity that makes the game much more enjoyable. Once we're indoors, the FPS obviously increases immensely until we hit more complex combat scenes. These intense skirmishes are a lot of fun, more so when there's no frame rate chop to take you out of the experience. If you're wondering about multiplayer, what you see here in the campaign holds pretty well for the multiplayer experience as well. My recommendation would be medium settings for the previously mentioned balance of fidelity and fluidity. In multiplayer, I would say that the 5850 delivers enough performance to increase some of the settings if you so desire, but dips will be more frequent and severe versus the campaign, which is pretty linear and designed to deliver cohesive performance for whatever hardware you are playing it on. We have here another fine example of the Radeon HD 5850's longevity and sheer power for its time. We could also attribute this to weak consoles, which I use with finger quotations. Our three requirements are hit quite nicely though: 1080p resolution, 30 FPS gameplay, and we can't forget some very nice visuals. Before I leave you with this last bit of gameplay, be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this and subscribe to my channel for more stuff in the future. The series in particular isn't over. I still have at least a couple more titles to include in my Radeon HD 5850 in 2015 video series. So take care everyone, and I'll see you next time.
Tombstone 4.
Go 4 Fortress.
Roger. VIPs are inbound in a seized enemy helo. One of them in need of immediate medical attention. We are still in the tower, sir. Looking for an alternate exit. Over.
Understood. Stand by.
You're so messed up.